What the hell? All right, we're gonna use this camera, I guess. Why is my screen frozen? All right, is it working? What's up, Bam Bam Boogie? How you doing, brother? How's everything going? Oh, I gotta adjust this camera now. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get this other camera back on. This one's sharp right here. I like this one, but at the same time, I want to see if I can get the regular one because there it is. There it is. What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. Hold up. I forgot to turn that off. So what's up, fight fans? We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to cover here today. If you like the channel, please support it. Give it a like right now. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let's talk about it. What's up? All right. What's up, you chat family out there? All, Bam Bam, all of you joining in. John, what's up, brother? How you doing? Let's talk about this. Look, I'm already done with this little Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney thing, but I really started thinking about the ins and outs of it. And I started to ask myself certain questions. And I just wanted to share this with you guys and get your opinion on it and see how you guys also feel about this whole ordeal that is taking place. And I think that a lot of people are just focusing on Ryan Garcia now is a test. And the argument has been whether he cheated or did he test positive? Did he not test positive? And I think that we all started losing track of what really took place on that night with Devin Haney and Mr. Ryan Garcia. So I'm going to break this down right now. Look, guys, I saw the interview yesterday with Bill Haney and Ryan Garcia on Mill City, and what I saw was an older gentleman trying to lure Ryan Garcia into an admission. He was trying to force the issue just to get him to say that he put something into his body unintentionally, that he was aware. He's what he was trying to do is trying to get Ryan Garcia to finally say, yeah, 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 I took a pee or something like that of that nature, right? Which in every interview, including that one, Ryan Garcia still has no idea how it got into his system. And a lot of people said that Ryan Garcia himself said Scooter gave him the the stuff. No, that's not what Ryan Garcia said. He believes that it might have come from Scooter because he's saying that's the only other medications or supplements I took leading into the fight. So it had to be from him. But in fact, Ryan Garcia has no idea how it got into his system. He's as puzzled as he was in the beginning of all of this. He truly has no idea. He's just pointing fingers at every direction, hoping to like prove how the fuck this shit got into his system. But in actuality, we are no closer to finding out how that PE got into his system than we were at the beginning of all of this. We have gotten no answer, only a bunch of maybes, maybe this, if that. No definitive answer has ever come out and said this is exactly how he got it in his system. No, he's just assuming. He thinks. He doesn't know, right? Okay. So through all of that, I said to myself, okay, I think we're all losing focus here. Why don't we analyze exactly what took place? And what took place was a boxing match. What happened in that boxing match and what has happened previous leading into the boxing match. Meaning, I had to go look at Ryan Garcia's his previous fights and Devin Haney's previous fights. And upon doing so, I started to realize something about both men. Okay? We're protecting now, all of a sudden, Devin Haney. It's starting to seem like Devin Haney is the victim in all of this, which in fact, he is no victim. He is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Stay with me. Because if I'm not mistaken, leading into this, the entire boxing world was all over Devin Haney for doing what? For cheating. That's right. Everybody called Devin Haney a fucking cheater. Why? Because he was a weight bully that has never fought in his own weight division his entire career. Everybody always said from the amateurs all the way into the pro that Devin Haney and his father have did one thing really well is cheat. His entire career, Devin Haney's entire success has been built on fighting smaller guys and cheating and coming into divisions he never belonged in. He never competed in his natural weight. So Devin Haney is probably one of the biggest cheaters in all of boxing, right? But let's just forget about all of that. Let's crucify Ryan Garcia for having a PE in his system that he has no idea how he got in there, right? Or let's just say he did take it and he took it. So I also went and I broke down Ryan Garcia. So I went back and I looked at like 5 Ryan Garcia fights. Even though I've watched them before, I had to go watch them again. And the one thing I learned about Ryan Garcia and a PE, I had to take both things into account. Okay, bro, you're fucking dirty, bro. You have a PE in your system. So let's see how the PE worked for you. And how much advantage did you have on that PE? Now, I'm at to the point where that I don't want to hear anything from Ryan Garcia. I don't believe anything that comes out of that kid's mouth. So I have to do my own investigation. And upon my own investigation, I deemed that to see if he had any advantages, whether it was in his skill, his power, everything. So by checking out his last 5 fights and watching the fight with him and Devin Haney, I realized something really fast. That even if you can say that Ryan Garcia had a PE in his system on the night that he fought Devin Haney, check this out. In fact, Ryan Garcia fought one of the trashiest fights he's ever fought leading into the Devin Haney fight. Let me explain. When he fought Luke Campbell, he looked better. He had better snap, better power. His speed was better, everything. When he fought Devin Haney, he was a little bit more wild, a little bit more green, but that's always been Ryan Garcia. You got to understand that when Ryan Garcia fought all these guys, testing clean after every fight, his technique never changed. His style never changed. His power never changed. His speed never changed. That means that Ryan Garcia has been that fast, that strong, everything, but he's not a skilled fighter. He didn't. He There was no elevation in his skills at all. And then I wanted to see if the PE gave him any power. And in fact, it didn't, right? Because he was knocking people out before the PE scandal. He went up against Devin Haney and he couldn't even finish him. When Tank Davis fought Ryan Garcia, he said that was the hardest punch I've ever been hit in my life, which proves to the fact that without PEs, because you know that Tank Davis ran him through a ringer, without any PEs, he still hit the hardest he's ever been hit in his entire life. So the PE didn't give him power. He already had that power. He already had that speed. So and then I went back and I watched the Devin Haney fight. And I watched Ryan Garcia's technique and his performance. In fact, if you're saying that he took a PE and it gave him all this strength and power and agility, in fact, he fought like shit in the Devin Haney fight and he gassed out almost every round and he had to turn his back and let Devin hit him because he was gassed out and his technique wasn't holding up. His training wasn't holding up. So if you gave him a PE and he took a PE, what the fuck benefits did he get out of the PE if his stamina wasn't holding up, his power wasn't holding up, his speed wasn't holding up, his technique didn't look any better? What performance enhancement drug did he take that increased him? And where did you see the level that it was apparent that he was so much dominant? Where? The only thing he did was the same thing that Tank Davis said, this boy can crack. So without a PE, he was the hardest puncher he's ever fought. He punched Devin Haney in the first round with that first shot. He ain't never recovered. It had nothing to do with a PE. I started to realize that in Ryan Garcia's performance, bro, it was trash. Against Devin Haney, it was fucking trash. Bro, all he had was a shuffle with his feet, some fake ass jab, and this hook, and these flares of punches that were all over the place. His technique, not that great. His stamina wasn't holding up. His speed was in and out, and his power was there, but not quite there, right? I'm trying to tell you. All Ryan Garcia was in that fight against Devin Haney was bulky. He just looked big. That's all he did. Yo, there was nothing in his performance on that night against Devin Haney that told me that kid had a PE in him and he became a super fighter. A super fighter turning your back because you need breaks in between rounds because your stamina and your training was failing you. So he was turning around like this, right? At what point did this mysterious PE give him an advantage? And where was the advantage at? Where was it? If obviously the PE didn't give him power because he had that power in all his fights. Obviously the PE didn't give him speed because Ryan's been that fast his entire career. So what did the PE do? What did it actually do for him? It didn't make him fight stronger. He was that strong. It didn't give him any energy because, boy, he needed it. That boy was gasping for air in between rounds. It didn't give him energy. Had he had the right energy, he would have finished Devin Haney. So what did the PE do for him? If in his last performances, he actually looked better than the fight that he fought with Devin Haney. His performance level and what he did on that night was lower than any other fight. So what the fuck did the PE do? What did it do? Yeah, okay, yeah. He had a PE in his system. The PE didn't win the fight for him. And it absolutely did nothing for him because you would have to see it with your own eyes. At what point did the PE increase Ryan Garcia's performance? I'll wait. If he fought worse, he fought better his last fight than he fought in the Devin Haney fight. Then you got to ask yourself, okay, What was the other guy in the ring doing? What? Okay, if this is how Ryan Garcia was fighting, what was the other guy doing? What did Devin Haney do in that fight? Devin Haney didn't show up. And Bill Haney and Devin Haney know exactly what they did in their training camp. They know exactly that they thought that their son was just way too good to beat Ryan Garcia. And they basically just stood in shape. And then when they came into the fight, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney on the night of the fight were they were only off by a couple pounds. Devin Haney blew up that night and still was the smaller guy. For the first time in Devin Haney's career, he got weight bullied. And now he crying. His entire career, he's been cheating. He's been criticized by the California Boxing Athletic Committee. His name came up in a debate to prove how fighters what? Cheat. Right? Devin Haney's name did not come up in a fucking argument with the fucking Boxing Athletic Commission out in California. They didn't use your name as a stepping stone because you're a straight up fighter. No, they only use your name as an example to describe a cheater. That's what they use Devin Haney's name for. Am I saying any fucking thing here wrong? Am I missing fucking anything, bro? He has been accused of being a fucking cheater. And they want to put fucking stipulations in boxing using Devin Haney's name to prove, look, this is how fighters do it. He's been doing it this whole time. They didn't use anybody's boxer's name. They didn't fucking grab anybody from any different weight division. They were specific on the exact boxer they were talking about. They even highlighted his name. Devin Haney, weight bully, cheater. That's what they did. They're going to make fucking rules because of the cheating shit this man has done his entire career. And all of a sudden, the entire world seems to forget that. And Ryan Garcia is the only cheater here. Brother, fuck it. You're both cheaters. And what was handed down was merit. You don't get the win. You don't get the win. As a matter of fact, we'll take your belt and we're going to find you. That's what you both get. That's what you both deserve. Ryan Garcia, you need to tighten up your circle. Had you had a tighter circle, this shit would have never happened to you. If somebody did sneak this in to you, then fucking that's kind of your fault, bro. That's kind of your fault. You should have loyal people around you, right? So let's not just forget. And if we're all screaming that Ryan Garcia had a PE in his system, at what point, let's see how we can prove that that PE gave Ryan Garcia an advantage. And the only way we're going to do that is let's go back and watch the fight. Let's see how hocked up on juice he was and how much stronger this fucking PE made him, because we're going to have evidence, right? We have the fight. Let's go look at it. And when you go back and you look at the fight, you say to yourself, man, fucking Ryan Garcia looked like shit. He looked like shit. He was just a bigger, powerful man. That's it. Devin Haney did the same shit. Not one fight, not two fights, not even a remarkable 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fights. He has done that his entire career. And the Boxing Association has recognized it. And they're going to start to make laws to enforce some of these things because of who? Only because of the blatant, and I mean blatant, disregard and use of a rule that was put in place, and that he uses it to because he can cut the weight. Oh, I'm a professional. If I make the weight, I make the weight, right? Right? Nah, my man. Nah. You've been a weight bully your entire career. You've been cheating. You've been fighting smaller guys and giving the illusion that you're that guy. No. In fact, you knew what you've been doing this entire time to get an advantage. You cut weight and cut that much weight to get an advantage over your opponent, not fighting your opponent on an even playing field. What is that called? Cheating. If it's not even and it's not fair, then what is it? Then what is it? If my opponent is not the same size as me, and I know this, and I use this as a tactic each fight after fight after fight, never fighting anyone my size. You ever hear that expression? Pick on someone your own size. Devin Haney never picked on someone his own size, and when someone his own size came around, just a little bit bigger, we found out the fighter he truly is. He got exposed. And everybody's all over Ryan Garcia. Well, then fine. If you guys want to get all over Ryan Garcia, well, let's not forget about cheating ass Devin Haney. And that everybody all of a sudden is defending cheating ass Devin Haney. And I had to make this video and break it out. You know why? Because now all of a sudden it's like they're really starting to make this a scapegoat illusion that the only reason why Devin Haney lost is because Ryan Garcia had a PE. That is not the reason. There have been thousands, and I mean thousands of fighters that fought other fighters with way better PEs and using the PE to the maximum ability, and they still lost the fight. What happens when the guy tests positive after the fight that used the PE that got knocked out? How'd that work out for him? A PE doesn't mean that you win the fight, bro. It doesn't automatically mean that you guarantee the win. No. You still have to fight in that ring. And like I said, what was the other guy doing? What was Devin Haney doing? Devin Haney is trying to sweep this all under the rug, and he doesn't even want you to watch the video. He wanted the Zone, YouTube, and everybody to cut up the videos. And you know what they said to him? They got back to him yesterday. Fuck you. We still showing it. You're not going to be able to erase that Devin Haney. They gave him a big no. Yeah, just in case you don't know. Right? So Devin Haney thinks that if he can chalk this to his PE scandal, that it would take away from the fact that he didn't show up on that night. No, brother. No, brother. I'm here to tell the entire public, let's not be fooled. Let's not, because Devin Haney wasn't on no PE. Wasn't Devin Haney supposed to be the more superior fighter? Wasn't he favored in that fight? Huh? What the fuck did he do? If on the first sequence in the first round, he tells the world, Ryan Garcia, you're a quitter and all you are is a left check hook. The first engagement, he hits him with a left check hook. Devin Haney, what the fuck were you working on? All this shit that you're the most superior fighter in the world, right? All this bullshit. Bro, you didn't even block the shot you knew that was coming. Bro, I'm trying to tell you guys, man. I'm trying to tell you guys. And when you guys go back and watch this video, you got to ask yourself the truth. The truth of the matter, bro. Did it really look like Ryan Garcia on that night in that ring had a PE advantage? I've seen PE fighters. They usually look like the same fighter in the first round to the 12th round. Their stamina doesn't drop. They're throwing a million punches around. They're getting a lot of performance out of the PE. The PE is actually helping them. Ryan Garcia was gassed out in the second round, basically. He fought one speed the entire fight because if he went past that speed, he would have gassed himself out, which tells me that his stamina wasn't all that great, which tells me that all he did was step. Ryan Garcia didn't utilize his legs, He didn't run around the ring. He didn't run. He was preserving all his energy in certain sequences. And whenever Devin Haney tried to turn it up a notch, yo, it would gas him right out. He would go into that phony baloney Philly shell and go like this because he needed a break. And he would just let Devin Haney hit his back while he was getting air because his fucking training was so trash. Where did the PE come in effect? I've seen guys fight on PEs. Bro, they throw in a million punches in round 1, and in round 12, they're still throwing a million punches. He got something out of that. And then you see that same fighter, the next fight, he ain't throwing half the punches. You're like, man, listen, you know he cheated, right? But there's no evidence that as I break down the fight, that Ryan Garcia clearly had a steroid advantage. That if you took that kind of steroid and came up with that kind of performance, bro, I would sue the steroid company. I'd go back and be like, bro, I blatantly cheated. I used your steroid and your steroid sucks. It didn't fucking help me at all. Yo, I would be mad. I'd be like, yo, I thought this PE worked. Yo, that PE didn't make Ryan Garcia look any better in any aspect. What do? You take a PE to look worse? Because that's what he looked. Ryan Garcia looked worse. That shit was horrible. But he got the win. He got the win. It was good enough. He was still strong enough and powerful enough to secure that win. Ryan Garcia can crack. Ask Luke Campbell. Ask Tank Davis. Ask all Ryan Garcia's victims. Every man that went in the ring with Ryan Garcia was like, man, look at this fucking Superman looking Mexican kid. He ain't doing shit against me. Boop! Out. Afterwards, when they put the mic in their face, every one of them said, this fucking kid can crack. That's all he needed. That's all he needed was that lightning and thunder right there. Woo! And he laid it on Devin Haney. And Devin Haney didn't believe it. He didn't believe Ryan Garcia can crack that hard. And when Ryan Garcia cracked him in that first round, Devin Haney, his entire fight spirit, your warrior spirit, when Ryan Garcia hit him, his warrior spirit hopped right out of his body, jumped right out of the ring, and sat in the crowd and checked out of the fight. Because his warrior spirit said, man, listen, I'm out of you on your own, Devin. Yo, he got fucked up. But I got to admit, both these motherfuckers is living foul. Both of them. He's been living foul his entire career, and Ryan Garcia got hit with a fucking bad situation. Listen, call him a fucking cheat. I don't give a fuck. He had PEs in his system. Believe what you want. I don't care. But I know on my investigation what I took from the fight, and the most important clue out of all of this, it's not what I believe. Because fuck it, right? It's not someone's opinion. No. It's the people and the powers that be's actions. Right? And what I mean by that is when the New York Boxing Athletic Committee didn't feel like they should go after Ryan after the PE, they went after him for not submitting 2 samples, right? His supplements, and not sample supplements, right? So they went after him for that. That means that the New York Boxing Athletic Committee knows the truth. They tested Ryan's levels. They know exactly how much he had in his system, what was reported. And if the New York Boxing Athletic Committee did not deem it that there was enough in his system to find him guilty on it, and they found him guilty for something else because it was obvious, that would have been the number one thing. If the New York Boxing Athletic Committee would have seen that his levels were so high and that he did, in fact, get something out of it, they would have brought that to the forefront. That was the first thing they would have said. No, Ryan Garcia, we're going to expose you. You had this much in your system, and it 100% gave you it did what the PE was supposed to do. They would have came out and said it. The fact that the New York Boxing Athletic Committee, after hearing all the evidence, did not come after him with that, that leads me to believe that the level wasn't high enough. It was trace amounts, meaning 60 billionths of a gram, whatever that meant, must mean trace amounts, meaning that they deemed in the office it didn't have any benefits because they have all the evidence. They have everything. They went into their little room. They talked about their findings, everything in the case. They had weeks to go over all the evidence. And at the end of the day, when they walked out of that room, they handed them a sanction for not turning in supplements, meaning all the evidence they looked over, they didn't find anything conclusive. They didn't find anything where that they said, yeah, Ryan Garcia, you cheated. The level was too high. They didn't go that way. That's the number one clue for me. Every athlete's level that was above it, they all came out and said, nope, that's your level. You cheated. The ba 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 ba. And even if they entered an agreement, right, which that's impossible to do. In boxing, there's not a boxer in history that can enter an agreement unless he went to court. As long as they're being in that first step process, which is who? Which is the doping agencies. The doping agency has their first crack at it. If you want to challenge their ruling and their finding, then you go to court. That's how that works. So you're staying out of court as long as you work with whatever decision they say. If you want to challenge their decision, now you can take the case to court. That's how that works. So you mean to tell me that the New York Boxing Athletic Committee, out of all the fucking boxers they've ever done and found guilty, that this is their conclusion? This is what they came down to. This was their verdict and their decision. It wasn't like they came to a decision and Ryan Garcia was like, well, listen, man, I'll plead guilty to this, not this, not this, not this part, but yeah, I'll take this. There's no wheeling and dealing. There's either you take what we gave you or take it to court. That's it. There's no other options. So Ryan Garcia looked it over and was like, yeah, you know why Ryan Garcia took that plea deal? Because exactly with that interview on Mill City yesterday that I saw with my own two eyes with Bill Haney. Bill Haney was once again trying to bully Ryan Garcia into, because that's their, I guess, the Haney mentality to be bullies, right? And he was trying to dominate the conversation and lure and trick Ryan Garcia into a confession. Bill Haney is like a con artist. You know what I'm saying? One of those type of men, the guys that come out of prison, what he went to jail for, because he's always been breaking the rules and cheating people in life, that he was found guilty by a court of law and was sentenced to prison, okay? Because Bill Haney is a fucking cheater. Okay, so he teaches his son the same tactics that apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Okay, and all he is a fucking hustler from the street. You hear him all the time. I'm street, nigga. I'm street. I'm this. I'm that. Yeah, we get it. We see it all day, full display, right? So, if you guys want to get all over fucking Ryan Garcia, let's please fine. Ryan Garcia is a fucking cheater. Yup. He tested positive for PEs. Yup. 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 He is a cheater. Yes. But so aren't you. So aren't you, Bill Haney and Devin Haney. You're both fucking cheaters. So this is ironic that one cheater is calling out another cheater. That's all this is. You know what? Fuck both of you. I'm glad you both cheating asses got what you both deserve. Both of you. Yeah. So that's how I feel about this whole fucking thing, bro. It's just two cheaters going at it with each other. May the best cheater win, I guess, huh? Right? And listen, you hear Bill Haney, right? You think that these guys are in boxing and know all the answers and know everything about boxing. that in the interview, the second interview with Mill City, look how informative Bill Haney actually is about where his son is placed and what they actually have his son suspended for. Bill Haney couldn't tell you why Devin Haney is suspended right now. And he's his manager, his father, everything. If you don't even know what's going on with your own fighter, you can't tell the world why your son is suspended right now. You can't. He's on tape yesterday saying it. That's his inability and lack of knowledge of the boxing game. Yeah, he might be in it. Yeah, his son might be a world champion and might give you the impression he knows what he's talking about. Bill does not know all the ins and outs of boxing. He's fairly new to it. The only fighter he ever had was his son. Before boxing, he was out robbing record. He was in the record business, and he was in there fucking wheeling and dealing with a bunch of snakes, conning people, doing everything that I guess he wasn't supposed to be doing, because apparently he got sentenced to prison for what he was doing. Bill Haney. Bill Haney came out of prison and took another thing into his son, exploiting his son to get money off of him, his little hustle. See? So all Bill Haney's been is a fucking con artist / businessman. That's it. Fucking talking his way through situations he knows very little of. Bill Haney ain't no lawyer. Not like Al Heyman and fucking Leonard Ellaby and all these other dudes that they were lawyers before they came into the game. They know some shit. Bill Haney's in an office trying to pretend to be somebody he's not. But I get it. If I was in his position, I'd probably do the same thing because I wouldn't let no suits and ties fucking lower me, shrink me. I'm the same man I am everywhere I go. Meaning, how does my Boston hold up anywhere I go in my life? Wherever you're from wherever you're at, whatever city you were at, wherever you were raised and born, that city taught you and made the man you are today. By every experience, every situation, your city made you. And when you leave your city and you go to another city and you're surrounded by other guys, not meaning in a threatening way, just joking, chilling. You're not in your city. You're having a good time. You're in another city. If these guys tell you, yo, don't walk like that out here. Don't talk like that here. Walk like this. Dress like this. Here, put on these colors. My man, talk like this. Say this. Do you change? Or does like when I go out, for instance, do I change or does my Boston hold up? Do I change you or do you change me? Meaning, do you like my swagger or do I keep it or do I adapt to you? Do I shrink? Do I turn into someone that I'm not just to please you guys? Or do I stay the same with respect all in it? Don't let ignorance cloud what I'm saying. There's no threatening situation in what I'm saying. It's not like I'm saying going out there and they're bullying you. No, a calm, rational situation. It's like, does Massachusetts raise me, made me? I was born in Newark, New Jersey, but they raised me out here. It made me the man I am. I will not shrink anywhere I go. I'm not going to go somewhere and be something else that I'm not. I'm me, and I'll always be me. I'm not going to shrink. I'm not going to talk like you. I'm not going to dress like you. Nothing. Right? I'm going to continue being me. Always. I won't shrink in a situation. So if I was a guy and I wasn't a lawyer and I became a boxing promoter and I was in an office in a room with a bunch of men with suits and ties and I never had a suit and tie on and they start talking, I'm going to feel a little weird. I'm going to feel like I don't belong. Nah, not my Boston. My Boston raised me to know that, brother, just because you got a suit and tie on, I see you suit and tie dudes in the hood all the time, cop and work. I if whatever I gotta do in my head to lower these suits and ties to my level, I will. And I will make sure that in my head, you're just a man. I'm not going to be intimidated because you're a CEO of something or you're this person. No. In my thought process, I always lower the person to my level so that we can see eye to eye. We're at the end of the day, you're just a man, and I'm just a man. You bleed like I bleed. I will not let your persona of who you think you are or exactly who you are because you probably made a good life for yourself. I won't allow that to make me small. I will always stand tall. Always. I don't give a fuck if you richer than me. So what? I don't care what car you drive. I don't care who you fucking. I don't give two shits. You're just a man. And I'm a man. That's it. As long as we treat each other with respect, then that's how it would be. Am I right? Bill Haney, I get it. He's fighting for his son. He's arguing for all these points. But Bill and Haney, yo, I can't let you just walk away trying to smear this whole loss over just Ryan Garcia testing positive. No, there were a lot of other factors in this fight. There were a lot of other factors. And I got to admit, it wasn't all Ryan Garcia. So fight fans, let me know what you guys think. Just some real talk. Yo, brother. What up, John? Listen, honestly, yo, who's that guy at our door? Oh, okay. Okay. I looked at the camera. I saw some dude at my door about to jump up. Anyway, so look, I believe at the end of the day, for all this shit that Bill Haney and Ryan Garcia, Bill Haney and Devin Haney are coming at Ryan Garcia and keep campaigning to try to smear his name and overturn this look on Devin Haney and everything. And after the year, they're gonna come back and they're gonna beg Ryan Garcia for this fight. And Ryan Garcia needs to remember all the people that called him a cheater, all the people that try to smear his name, Bill Haney and Devin Haney being at the forefront. If I was Ryan Garcia and I came back to the sport of boxing after a year, I would not fight Devin Haney. I wouldn't even look his way. Why help Devin Haney rebuild his career off of you? If I'm such a cheater and I'm this and I'm that, then you don't need me. Devin Haney, why don't you try to build and sell tickets on your own? Ryan Garcia, don't help him. Don't help him. Ryan Garcia, go off and do whatever you're going to do because I can tell you one thing. Ryan Garcia does not need Devin Haney. He don't need Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia can come back after a year suspension, hop in the ring, and make upwards to 20 million plus easy against anyone. Ryan Garcia has established himself. Why? Why is Ryan Garcia so popular? Why? Not only because he's cute, right? Nah, that got nothing to do with it. You know what makes Ryan Garcia popular? Beating the shit out of your son, Devin Haney. And we all saw it. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. And what makes him popular is what he's doing in the ring. And now all his fan people are turning into boxing people. Ryan Garcia is going to make a lot of money. And I truly believe this. Ryan Garcia, don't you ever forget. Yeah, you're down right now. Yeah, kid, it sucks. I believe you, kid. I can see it in your eyes. You have no idea how those peas got in your system, bro. You're blaming everybody this person, that person. You have no idea. This kid is fucking like, what the fuck, man? I can't find it. Right? Yeah, it sucks. It sucks right now, Ryan. But remember, Ryan, remember, you're going to help out the same people that are trying to smear and discredit you. They're not taking in. If I have to take in consideration that it's a possibility that Ryan Garcia took the PE, I also have to take the consideration that somebody set him up. Since I haven't found any definitive answer or either way, then I have to take the other possibility into account. I can't just deem him a cheater. I don't have that right to do that. We haven't figured that out, right? Just because he can't prove it and you don't know where it came from, that doesn't automatically make him a cheater. Hell no. Okay? There has been people in the world that have been set up that truly don't know how the fuck that shit got in their system. I know a person that smoked a blunt after another person and tested positive for drugs they should have never tested for. They don't do those other kind of drugs, but it was in that blunt. The next day, that other person didn't know she was going on a job interview. And she was about to get the job. She pissed in the... Bro, she came up positive more than fucking weed. She's sitting here crying, has no idea how that happened until the dude that smoked the blunt with her came out and said, yo, I put that in the blunt before, but you came up so fast and grabbed it out my mouth and started smoking it. I didn't have time to tell you. And she was like, what? And she was like, yo, I was just sitting there on the porch smoking. You came up on the side of me and grabbed the blunt out of my mouth and was playing around and started smoking. And I had that shit in it. This motherfucker had angel dust inside of his joint. And she smoked it. She went and popped positive for angel dust. She ain't never smoked angel dust in her fucking life. She couldn't tell them how that got in there. If it wasn't for him that was honest, he was like, yeah, listen, I didn't want to say nothing. That's why I snatched it out of your mouth, man, quick. And I wasn't playing. I didn't give it back to you. But it was too late. You already took it and smoked it. And he just stood quiet. He didn't want to tell her, yo, I'm out here smoking angel dust. And she fucked around and just snatched the blunt and started smoking it, bro. The next day, she popped dirty at that fucking job interview. Yeah, and all this shit had to come out. He admitted it to it. Yeah, he said he was sorry, but you could see where, like, he didn't just pass it to her. He was like, yo, tell the truth. I didn't just give it to you. And I would, you had already snatched it. Right? Does that make her a fucking angel dust junkie? She didn't know how she got it in her system. Am I gonna call her now? Oh, you fucking junkie. Look at this. It said you tested positive. There's shit that happens. So that's what I mean. I have to take that into consideration. I can't just come out and blatantly be like, nope. Just because you can't prove it makes you a cheater. That's not right. When I see actual real cheating going on in front of me being avoided, Devin Haney is a cheater. He's a weight bully and he has been his entire career. And in fact, he's cheated so much throughout the course of his career that there are fucking athletic committees out in California bringing up his name to use it as an example as a boxer that it is a blatant what? Cheater. That's cheating. That's a cheater right there. If you're going to call Ryan Garcia a cheater, make sure that you turn the finger back to Devin Haney and as well say cheater. Because Devin Haney's a cheater just like Ryan Garcia is a cheater. That's my assessment to all of that. Why don't you guys hold that? One cheater defending another cheater. Yo, which one is the biggest cheater? Tune in next week to find out. Yo, because both these motherfuckers are cheaters now. Yeah. He said, why did you admit to it? Right? Okay, check this out. There are thousands, if not millions of people in the world that plead guilty in a courtroom every day and they didn't do the crime. Why would you plead guilty if you didn't do it? Motherfucker, I wasn't going to beat this one. They were looking to pin somebody for this. And sometimes people um plea out to situations because financially they don't have the time and luxury to keep going back to court month in, month out, taking a day off of work. It would be more convenient to plead guilty to this fucking speeding ticket and get it out the fucking way than keep going back to court every month trying to fight it. It would have been more costly. You would have to pay a lawyer every time miss work. So you start to do the math inside of your head, and sometimes things ain't worth fighting for, right? It could be 1,000 versions, a million situations, but every day in courtrooms all across America, people are pleading guilty to shit they should have not been pleading guilty to because of convenience. It happens all the time. But this one kid pleads guilty just to get behind all of this. Man, they were going to suspend me anyway. They had me for the fucking supplements. I pleaded fucking guilty. That's negotiation. That's realizing what's in front of you and wanting to get past this whole thing. That's the right move. But Bill Haney's cheating ass, right, is going to try to use it because what he needs to do is focus all the attention onto Ryan Garcia and not him or his son. To take away from the fact that your son's name right now is being questioned and all his wins are being questioned in regards to him being a weight bully. They're not using any other fighter as an example. They're using your son, Devin Haney, as an example. That's how much he's a cheater. So if you ask me, man, they're both getting what they deserve. Ryan Garcia for being a fucking idiot. Okay. You you didn't have a tightened circle. You obviously you did something wrong. And you're gonna be punished for it. But I'm not gonna allow the other guy to get away scot free. Like he didn't do anything. Hell no. If you can point out all his wrongs, listen, whoever doesn't live in a glass house, throw the first stone. If you've never done anything wrong in your life, you're a fucking perfect angel and a saint, you have right to criticize Ryan Garcia. Other than that, we all make mistakes. We all go through life experiencing shit, and we all sometimes get punished for shit we feel like we shouldn't have got punished for. It happens all the time throughout life. What Bill Haney's trying to do is another version and another way of conning all of us. So not to show you and not to pay attention to what his son's been doing. And Bill Haney, as far as his management skills, he blatantly came out and told you why Devin Haney won't be fighting for a while and that he'll be taking some time off. And the decision to become champions in recess was Bill Haney's idea. So when Devin Haney loses it all, he can look at his father and say, "Thanks, Dad. You did this for me. This is your kind of work. These are the decisions you made." Rather than Bill Haney realizing that his son needs to get credibility back on his career. How? In the ring. And he should have took the Sando Martin fight, whooped his ass, and still remained champion. That was a better move. Instead, you want to be a champion in recess, and the WBC is going to show you how much recess your son is actually on. That they announce a fight and they announce the winner to who's going to fight the winner out of that fight, which that's going to take about a year or so, right? Then what they think they're going to do? They're going to have Devin Haney fights 2 fights on one night. Is that Bill Haney's plan? Because if that fight takes, those two fights take a year, when Devin Haney comes back, who's he going to fight? The winner out of those two guys to get his belt back, or Ryan Garcia? Because according to you, when you come back, you're going to fight Ryan Garcia. But wait a minute, Ryan Garcia doesn't have your belt. By this point, either Antoine Gary Russell or Sando Martin or Albert, one of them will have your belt. So after your year hiatus, what do you plan on doing? Fighting both of them in the ring at the exact same time to make everything back right, Bill Haney? Did you even think this one through? Who are you going to go after first? You actually put yourself in a worser corner. So now you can convince yourself and say, well, then we'll go after them both. We'll go after the belt, then Ryan. In a perfect world, he still thinks that boxing revolves around him and that he dictates what he does in his career next. Devin Haney, you're not that kind of star. You don't have that kind of star power. You don't have Terrence Crawford authority, Naoya Inoue authority, Alexander Usyk authority. Where that Alex Usyk just vacated the IBF, still one of the highest shows, anticipated matchups coming against Tyson Fury, and we're all going to tune in. He's that kind of man. He can make that kind of power move. You, without a belt, not selling, how much more you think you're going to sell without a belt? How much? Yo, Bill Haney is fucking up his career. Yeah. Listen, that's not my son. That's Bill Haney's son. Do whatever the fuck you want with your son. But at the end of the day, I'm not letting Bill Haney and Devin Haney escape neither. Yep. Ryan Garcia is a cheater. Yep. He popped positive for steroids. Yep. But so aren't you. You're a fucking cheater too. You've been cheating your entire career, Devin Haney. And that's what it is. Let me get the. So, fight fans, what's up? Okay. What do you say right there? Your message went by quick. What do you say? Haney no contest celebrating dance on social media was very. Listen, if that's how you have to get your wins by notification that you won, well, obviously that's how Devin Haney wins when I come to think about it, because that's how he got notified that he won his belt through via email. So he is the real definition of an email champion then. He gets emailed his wins and he gets emailed his belts. That's how he wins in fights? Oh, I get it. You are the true definition of an email champion then. You don't win in the ring. You win through emails and court litigations. And who dares to challenge Devin Haney at the right weight limit on an even playing field? If you can't fight Devin Haney if you're bigger than him. No, you have to be smaller and weigh less in order for him to take the fight. That's the only way he takes fights. Yeah. And if he loses the fight, he'll appeal it and get an email and then do dances on social media. And then the way he wins belts, he doesn't beat somebody in the ring, he gets email belts. I see what kind of fighter he is now. He's never been that dude. He's been pretending to be him, but he hasn't actually fought anybody. The only person he got on his resume is Loma and Linares. That's it. Lomachenko and Linares. Both men were smaller. And one man was old as fuck, boy. Actually, both they were. Either you got to be small and old. More stipulations to Devin Haney's career. I'm just figuring shit out as I sit here. I'm like, you got to be on the tail end of your career, old as fuck and smaller. Then he'll fight you. Okay. I see. And when it comes to the toughest men in your weight division, you got to make outrageous claims that he sent a contract to Subriel Matias. That Subriel Matias maxed it himself out. But when Subriel Matias and his team came out on live on a fucking on live stream, right? And they came out and said, "Who the fuck did you talk to? That's not his boxing promoter anymore." He was going through a transition. He just signed with Ed Hearns with a co-promotion with his main promoter. But you guys, Devin Haney, never called them. Who the hell were you talking to? I'm right here. And then we never heard anything else from Bill Haney. So it's a lot of smoking mirrors, a lot of weight bullying, fighting old fighters, and making false accusations. I see where he is. Yeah, I've seen. Now I see. Now I see what real kind of fighter he truly is. Oh, and not let's not check my receipts. Let's not check my receipts. When 8 months ago, 9 months ago, you guys know, you guys been my loyal subscribers, and the chat, my chat family knows firsthand. Remember when I came out and I told you 8 months ago that Devin Haney was not a pound for pound fighter? And you guys asked me why. I said he's not a complete fighter. He's not a polished fighter. Devin Haney needs things to work on. And I got some resistance for that. I got some pushback. And I told you 8 months ago why I didn't put him on my pound for pound list. I have videos. I have videos. I got into argument with people on my show about that very topic. I have never, ever felt like Devin Haney was a finished product. But I always advocated for him, and I said he's going to be an amazing fighter. He just got to develop more in the sport of boxing. And I was saying that I believe Devin Haney's going to turn into a much better boxer, a more superior fighter, but he was never a complete package. And he had work to do. And everybody was like, no, he's undefeated. He got all 4 belts at that time. What are you talking about? And I'm saying, my boxing eye, this is why I do this. I know what I see. Trust me when I tell you, Devin Haney wasn't a complete fighter. Now this all happens. I try to tell you guys from the fucking beginning, bro. I've been telling you this. Yo, I told you that I never, ever gave him credit for that. I'm expecting him to have a second half of his career and even a more amazing half until this shit happened with Ryan Garcia. Now he's like really in a bad place. I don't know if mentally he's going to come back. That's a different monkey wrench that I thought it was going to just be based on his fighting skill and how he develops as a fighter. And now this, it doesn't seem like he can take a fucking social media punch to the chin like a man. He criticized Loma. He criticized Teofimo Lopez. He had no problem going on. Yo, he goes on all these podcast shows. He speaks like a young man that has it all together. Like Devin Haney had all the answers to life. He knew what he was doing in his career, which way he wanted to go. He's talked with confidence, everything. After this loss, bro, he fell apart. And it really goes to show you that what he was saying was just like his father. Just a bunch of hustle and bullshit, sounding good, but never being mentally prepared strong. You forgot to put in the mental work that it takes to become mentally strong so that when these tidal waves in life hit you, you be more mentally strong here, how to deal with situations of life. He talked a good game. He talked like he had his head screwed on right. But when this shit happened, bro, he fell apart like that. Listen, Keep defending Devin Haney. Keep calling Ryan Garcia a cheater if you want. I don't give a fuck. Right? But don't fail to mention how much of a cheater Devin Haney actually is. So when you're defending one cheater versus another cheater, just remember that they're both fucking cheaters. What's up, guys? What's up, Bud King? That shit don't even say Bud King, bro. Yo, my eyes are bad, bro. I zoomed in like that. That said KHAAG. I was like, what the fuck? Yo, eventually I'm gonna get some glasses, bro. Eventually, eventually, B. Thank you, Bam. Thank you, Bam. Bam, you feel me, baby. Just remember, and that's the fucking truth, bro. Yeah, listen, they can go back and forth all they want on social media, but I just pointed out the real factor on what we're fucking defending here and who we're defending. And whatever's good for the, gander, like geese is good for the gander, right? Whatever's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? It is. Do people even Tio Senior? Do people even say you look like Tio Senior all the fucking time? I don't know how that possible. Maybe because of the gray beard when I let it grow in and I don't dye my shit and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because my girl, she likes it like this, but I like to fucking put my shit in dye because I say to my wife, how many years have I gone to events and you see the wife in the corner, hair dyed, nails painted, makeup on, lipstick, eyelashes, all kinds of shit to enhance her beauty. Her husband standing next to her, gray hair, gray beard, everything. Like men don't take care of themselves, right? I'm not, I'm on that other side where I feel like fuck that, right? I'm about to fucking hook myself up, right? I dye my beard, dye my hair a lot and shit. And maybe my personality, they might say I look like T.O.'s father, but that's about it. Because me and T.O.'s dad have absolutely nothing in common. Absolutely nothing. I'm a fucking beast. All right. And fucking T.O.'s father is an out of shape fucking. I don't think he could do 30 seconds in a fucking round right now. Me, I'm a little different. I'm built different. Everything about and I've known that through my life though, because of all the men that I've competed against and how I fared against my competition throughout my whole life. You know what I mean? Like even being around, like I knew right away I was a little bit different than most people. And then I met people that were way better than me. Then I realized there was a different level. I was like, damn, look at this motherfucker, right? I thought I was nice. This motherfucker's doing everything 10 times better than I was. So then it would motivate me to step up my shit, right? But I never really got to that level because I gotta admit, I'm the definition of wasted talent, man. I truly am. I had all the talent in the world, bro. I made bad decisions. I didn't have the right role models in my corner when I was growing up. And I was wild. I was running around the streets, So I made a lot of bad decisions. Yes, I did. I did. I made some bad decisions. And I was really talented in multiple sports: basketball, baseball. I was a shortstop. I was a point guard, a shooting guard. I was a quarterback in football. I won a championship while being quarterback in football. Yo, I'm athletic as fuck, boy. Yes, I am. Um, I've grapple wrestle Roman grapple wrestling in the college with the I was basically a rag doll for the wrestlers. But I learned a lot. Um, I couldn't beat none of them dudes, bro. Them dudes was fucking superior. I was just the dude that they threw around, like bam, 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 and like eventually I started blocking their moves and trying to throw them around. But I learned a lot of shit. Like an average person that wasn't a fucking superior wrestler is not gonna throw me down on the ground like that. I'm gonna outsmart that person. But like a real, like a tight one, like, I've done a lot of shit in my life, a lot of sports, a lot of stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez is dead. I'll take one look at him and I'll tell you, there's not an athletic bone in that man's body, bro. Yeah, I don't think at any point in his fucking life he ever done anything. It doesn't show to be him an athletic. I know a lot of athletic older dudes that got older. They still look a little athletic, a little. You know what I'm saying? They move. We are not the same. we are not the same. Yeah. Camboza's dad punked him. Of course. You could see right through that fake New York fucking. He's not a real like OG Puerto Rican New Yorker like that. Nah, Teal's dad's not that dude. He's not built like that, but just because he's not built like that, that doesn't take anything away from him. It's just he's just not that kind of dude like that. He has the New York swagger about him, and the image and the talk. He has all of that. But that's where it stays. That's where it stays with him. You see what I'm saying? I know old men in New York, and they ain't playing with you, and they ain't got nothing to play with you. They will, yeah, but he's just not that guy like that. I mean, he's just a boxing coach with his son and talking up, and he's got the swagger all about him. But just because you have a boxing son doesn't make you a superior boxing dad. No, no. His Tio's dad can be more like the type of guy that can see stuff, but he didn't have the skills to pull off what he saw. But it doesn't mean he doesn't know what he's talking about. There are guys in this world, 100 million coaches in the world that are coaches like Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach never was a fucking superior boxer in his own right. Most of these coaches weren't shit as fighters, but that doesn't mean that they don't understand the sweet science. Them explaining it and what they view, they're fucking right. They know what they're talking about. They know exactly how to train a guy if they can get out what they're wanting to train out of that guy. Just because they didn't know how to pull it off or they didn't have the skill to doesn't mean they don't know about fighting. You don't necessarily have to fight to know about fighting. You understand? Just like a guy that builds a rocket. He might know how to build the rocket, but he doesn't know how to fly it. A guy that builds a plane might know how to build a plane. He doesn't know how to fly the plane though. He could build it. I never took flying lessons. I know about mechanic. I know about wing airspan. I know about rotator spin. I know about nuts and bolts. Just because he makes the plane, you would assume he knows how to fly it. It doesn't work that way. Just because he's a coach and a trainer, you would assume he knew how to fight. No, there are a lot of trainers and coaches that do not know how to fight. And if you were to punch them in the face, they would have awkward movements. They'd be like, you'd be like, man, what the fuck? But it still does not take away that man is not a fucking master coach. There are people that are meant to do these things in life, but there are people that misconstrue these same things in their life as they're watching it because they go, oh, if he doesn't know how to fight, then I'm not going to listen to him as a coach. And that's a bad way of thinking. That's a real small-minded way of thinking. That if this doesn't look like this, then it must not be this. That's not how life works. There are billion of situations that you need to think your way through it. and I believe Freddie Roach is a hell of a coach. Yeah. I think Derrick James is a great coach too. Derrick James wasn't a good boxer. He wasn't a great boxer. He wasn't a multiple division world champion. No. Bomac, I don't think Bomac has ever fucking won a world title or 4 world titles in 2 separate weight divisions, but I think Bomac is a fucking hell of a coach. I don't think Bomac right now can fight his way out of a wet paper bag for as heavy as that man is. Right? I don't think he could beat any too many people in the world, right? But he's an amazing coach. That's how things work in life. See? So although I know Tio's dad might have got punked by, you know, uh, fucking George Camboza's dad or whatever, you know, Tio's dad is an old man at the end of the day, and I know we're just having a conversation, and I'm not gonna read too much into it. He shouldn't be fighting anybody. He should be enjoying, being a coach and a father to his son. Um, but sometimes if you talk the talk, somebody eventually is going to pull up on you and pull your card. If you're going to talk like that, then somebody's eventually going to fucking pull your card. So you better be ready. And, as far as him as a gentleman, he did a fine job with his son. He got his son up there. He's enjoying this with his son. He's side by side with Tio. His son's a multiple division world champion. I can't say anything bad about that. As far as a father, now whatever he does with his mouth, whatever he does to promote a fight, whatever he believes his son's a fucking 2 division undisputed champion of the world, well, that's his opinions. You know what I mean, guys? But yeah. What's up, baby? How you doing? Wilfredo, my man. George, how you doing, baby? Punchy, how you doing? Justin, how you doing? Just thought we hop online today and clear the airways on a couple things. And if you're calling one, I think you should call the other. Yeah, let's just not forget what has been transpiring on this entire time. And I encourage you to go back and rewind this video and look at what I said. You know what I mean? What's up, Koki? Yo, what? Yo, that's me, right? Hey, what's up? See what I mean about reading the things fast? Sometimes you hear me reading your messages and I start to drift off because I got to catch myself because I'll be fucked up and shit. Y'all type some shit and I'll be like, yeah, I'll read it. I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? So, oh, man. But listen, fight fans, I just thought to drop that on. I'm definitely going on tonight. The fights are tonight. Teofimo Lopez will be getting in the ring. We have a lot of fighting. We're going to put the rest of this, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney debacle behind us. That's my last take. I think I'm going to say this is the last things I have to say about it, unless any fucking new discovery comes out, I guess, and then I would have to address it because I cover the news in the world of boxing. So we have a lot of amazing fights tonight. Ali Walsh is going to be fighting. He's going to be making his um this is a rematch. Lee Walsh actually lost to this dude, right? So they're running it back, and the guy wants to prove to the world that it wasn't a fluke that he beat Ali Walsh that first time. He said he beat him. He's going to do it again. Okay, so there's a lot of other amazing fights on that card too as well. So I encourage you guys to join me. Uh, we'll sit down and we'll break down the fights. Robersi is on the card, and it's going to speak to what he does after this fight, because I think this is for the interim WBA world championship, and he's in pursuit that he wants a rematch back with Espinoza for his title back, Robersi. So Robersi's also on this card, and there are a lot of good fighters. Top Rank has put together a decent card. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually wanting to watch the Vargas son, the youngest one, El General, right? The general. I like that kid as a boxer. I like how active he was in 2023. I think he fought something like 5, 6 times in 2023 alone. That kid, right? He's like all of fucking 18, 19 years old right now. And that's good. That's good. His level of competition has been on his level. I think that they're bringing him along fairly well. I like all the decisions they're doing with him. His father was a former world champion, a good fighter in his own right. They got Mexican culture. They are Mexican, American, and Mexican. So he has 3 sons, in fact. So all sons are doing fairly well in their career, but about all the sons, I like this one, Emilio. I like him. I like him. So he's on the card, so I'm gonna tune in to see his fight. Of course, there are a lot of good fighters on this fight. So listen, fight fans, tune in with me tonight as we break down these fights and much more. And I encourage you to go back and watch this video. Yo, what's up, Carlos? How you doing, baby? Tonight, baby. Yo, who's gonna be the next Notre Dame here on Round One Sports Talk? And who can guess the rounds and who's going to win in the fight? We have this thing that we have at Round One Sports Talk. So I encourage you to log on with me tonight so that you can be a part of the festivities. Trust me, we have a ball. So, fight fans, I hope you enjoy this episode. Please give the videos a like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification icon, and it'll alert you when I drop my videos. So, fight fans, can't wait to see you tonight. Salute the chat family. We'll be back. Love you guys. And I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports TV.